Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Now, I've got a really fun one for you guys today. I have decided to gather some of my levers, majority of them being Korean levers, and I have decided to do a tier list video. So I'm going to be reviewing them, I'm going to be gathering my thoughts, and then I'll be telling you guys what I think about all of the levers that I've decided to use throughout the last 6 to 7 months of being a stick player. So let's get into this and let's get started. The Golden Lever Pro. Now this is an S tier lever for me. This is probably one of the best levers I've ever used on the market right now. This is by ASI, and it is probably the most sought out lever at this very moment. Now, in terms of functionality and performance, this is fantastic. I find that I don't really have issues trying to hit anything like my corners, like my down forwards and my down backs feel very, very smooth. I don't have any issues trying to do things like wave dashes, even electric. Sometimes I'll miss them, but it's not something that consistently happens. Now, this has a great quality of life, and what I mean by this is that it's so easy to modify. So when you install this into your stick itself, you can pop off the little screws here, and then you can take this bit off fully, and then you can go in and change your grommet, your bush, and whatever it is that you like to do in terms of how you want it to fit to your liking. You can easily do that with the Golden Lever Pro, so you don't even have to worry about taking out this entire piece, because you don't have to. Now, one thing I want to mention is that if you are a Victrix owner like myself, you're going to need one of these, and this is like an extension cable, because the cable that you get in your Victrix will just simply not reach this. This isn't an issue from ASI, it's just Victrix. That's just how they've designed their cable. It's quite short, so just bear that in mind. But otherwise, this is fantastic. I find that its snappiness is really nice as well, and this is probably one of the best I've used, and I've used a lot of levers within the last 6 to 7 months, and every time I go back to lever, I will go back to this. This is now my main driver. There's no way I'm going to be using anything else, to be honest with you. Now, in terms of price, this is a little bit on the pricey side. It is relatively expensive. I think in total, if we're going to put this into UK pounds, I think I spent roughly around £140, roughly, something along those lines, because I did buy some extra things. I bought 2 extra grommets and some gates, because you can change the gate in this. This in terms of collar, this comes with a Squircle collar, which is nice for me, because I like Squircle. And it comes with their new grommets that they're releasing. It is the XA grommets. So this by default comes with a blue grommet, which is already installed in this. It is the XA40 grommet, which is quite nice. I think it's like a hybrid between the X and the A grommets. So it feels really good. Like it's nice and light, but also still really snappy, and it's not too heavy, I find. I did try the XA45, which is the one up, and it's a little bit heavier. It feels nice as well, really snappy, but I actually really like what I've got with this in terms of just the stock level of this is just so good. I didn't feel like I need to change anything anymore. I did mess around with like lower tension grommets as well, but I just stuck to the regular grommet that it comes with. So one other thing I want to mention as well is that the capsule top does not come with this lever. You do have to buy it separately, but I already have one of these lying around, so that wasn't a problem for me. But just for anyone that's considering buying this lever, just of course bear in mind the price of the lever, but bear in mind that you also don't get capsule top. You will have to get that separately. Now, overall for me, in terms of rating, like I said before, S tier. This is top tier level. I don't have a lot to complain about, to be honest, apart from maybe it's just a little bit expensive, but in terms of craftsmanship, this is beautifully crafted. Like, it is quite big and hefty. It does fit in a Victrix. I haven't tried it in my Obsidian yet. I don't know if it will fit. It is kind of big. It's quite similar to the like in terms of body size, maybe similar to the Neo. So maybe use that as comparison. It is a hefty boy, but I haven't had a problem installing this into my Victrix at all. Like, it fits perfectly. So there was no issues getting this boy in. So I think overall for me, this is S tier. It's probably one of the best levers I've used. Like I've said previously, I cannot go back to another lever. This has spoiled me. This has entirely spoiled me. I know I've mentioned this before, but the craftsmanship is just beautiful. There's so much attention to detail, and I really appreciate how ASI have thought about how this would affect the user in terms of changing peripherals inside this, because it has made things so much more easier. There are times where I'll finish a set and I think, oh my gosh, let me just change this. I want to try a different grommet. Let me do it real quick, and it doesn't take me like 2 minutes, not even, just less than that. So that is something I really appreciate with ASI, and I honestly believe they cooked so hard on this. It's hard to compare other levers to the quality of this, because this is just outmatched in my opinion. But performance is just fantastic. Like, everything feels so good. Like, I don't think I've hit so many perfect electrics than I have on this lever to be really honest with you. It's just it's that good. So S tier for me, 100%, right on the top. Can't go wrong with this. So the next lever I want to talk about is the CrazyDong Pal Pro. This is my second favorite lever, and in fact, this lever I was maining for a long time. This was probably one of my favorites until I got my hands on the Golden Lever Pro. This is an incredibly snappy lever, really snappy. I love how it returns to neutral really quickly. Electrics on this is really nice. If you play a Mishima, perfect electrics as well. I was landing those consistently with this lever. It has a very short throw because it's got a very thick shaft. I want to say this is around 12 millimeters, so it is quite thick. It's similar to the Neo, except this doesn't have like a cover like the Neo does. This has no spin as well, but you can choose to have spin if you want to. You can just pop this screw off here and this little disc here, and there's a little ring inside. You can swap those two around, and it allows spin if you like spin. I am a no spin girly, so I personally don't like that on my levers. I like it just as it is, no spin at all. Now it's quite loud. The Golden Lever Pro is a little bit more quieter than this, but this isn't as loud as a Neo, so it's okay. So if you're concerned about the noise level, this kind of sits in the middle. The capsule top is really pretty as well. You get different ones as well. I went with the mint, but I ended up buying all of the capsule tops, to be honest with you, because I thought they were really pretty. The white one's really nice, the pearlescent one, but yeah, I stuck with this because this is really cool. I don't think I've seen this color on a capsule top before. Now, in terms of installation, this is also really easy to do. It's got PCB, and I really wish more levers start coming out with this, because this is so easy. Just like Sanwa levers, you just like plug it in and go. I hope to see more Korean levers installing this type of PCB, because it's just so easy. Now, in terms of tension, this feels quite heavy. This actually comes in a 25 ST25. I think that's the clearish one that you get. I ended up downgrading it to a lower tension one, which is the greenish one. It's the 20 grommet. Because this might just be me, but I found that it does compress the tension quite a bit. It felt like, because 25 is quite a light tension grommet, but it felt a little too heavy for me. So I was like, you know what, let me just go down one, and this feels perfect. So yeah, you can absolutely change your grommet in this, which is quite nice. Overall, I would say I would probably put this A tier. The reason I'm not putting it S tier is because I find that finding the corners on this is very unforgiving. Like, when I say wave dash, this might just be me because I don't have this issue with other levers, but I find that I'm skipping the down forward input sometimes, and I struggle to find like my down backs on this one a little bit. Say if I'm Kazuya and I'm doing a down back 4, sometimes I get a back 4 instead. These are just small little things, but if anyone that's ever played me and you know, we're playing on voice chat and they've heard me complain about corners on this lever, that's generally because I'm missing them for some reason. I find it's a little bit unforgiving, but yeah, otherwise it's a great lever. I think the actuator is, I want to say it's 16.5 actuator, between 16 and 16.5. It's quite big, and I guess that allows for like smoothness, you know, like movement feels quite smooth in that sense, but corners are a bit of an issue for me on this lever. Otherwise, a really great lever, and I believe, you know, if I wasn't, you know, using the Golden Lever Pro, I would have just stuck with this and I would have made do. Like, it's a small thing for me, but I would have made do with the tight corners. I would probably just adapt to that a lot more over the like next year if I was to continue to use this lever, because I've been using this for about 3-4 months, in fact since its release. So that was in the winter time up until now, and that's when I got the Golden Lever Pro. Great lever otherwise though. So the next lever we have is another ASI lever. Now this is the Golden Fanta. This is a really nice lever. This is one of my first levers from ASI, and this is what got me really into like modding levers. This comes with a white body, but you can change this. You can get a black Fanta as well, and what the black one does is it basically compresses the tension on your lever, so it feels heavier than it would normally. Now this comes with the yellow grommet, which is by default what all Fantas come with, but you cannot buy it separately. It is only exclusive to this lever. Now, in terms of how it functions and how it performs, it's really nice. It's really smooth. It feels good. Like, I don't have problems hitting like my down backs and my down forwards, so I can find my corners relatively easily. It comes with a circle collar, but you can change that and you can put a square ball if you wanted to. Again, that's what's nice about ASI's devices, is that you know, they are very modular and customizable. It does come with the back top. It's a hollow back top, so it comes with it by default. And overall, it's really nice. Now, the shaft is 8mm. That's something to bear in mind. So if you prefer a thicker shaft, again, you can change that. It has a medium throw, roughly, and it's not too loud. I'd say still quieter than the Neo. So it's quite nice, like in terms of how it moves. It's very smooth. It has a slight wobble in the neutral, but not enough to really notice. And you can buy the harness conversion separately as well. It's something that they do sell. Doesn't come with it, but it is separate. I have messed around with this previously, and I've changed like grommets and I've even changed the body and the collar, but I always go back to stock. I think this just what they have by stock is great, and sometimes I feel like I don't need to do too much with it. But the nice thing about ASI, as I've mentioned before, is because they're so modular, you can just mod it to your liking, customize it to how you like, and I think you can get really close to what you want in a lever. So in terms of where this sits, I'd say A. I'm going to knock it down a bit because again, the price range, these are premium levers, so therefore the price is going to be high up there. This roughly sits around, I want to say £120, which would, I'd say in dollars, it's around 159 USD dollars. So it is quite expensive. I'd say it's a little bit more than the regular golden lever, but yeah, again, premium levers, to think about cost. It is an investment, and if it's something that you're going to be using long term and you're going to modify it, then something to think about. Now this is an interesting one I've got here. This is the Shin Sun lever. This tries to replicate like a Japanese lever, so it looks very similar to that, but it's actually a Korean lever. This is geared towards 2D fighters, but you can play this with 3D fighters like Tekken. I have used this, and this is really light. This comes with like the most lightest tension grommet ever. I think it's a 15. It's the gray grommet. I don't even know if you can buy that separately, but it's so light, and it's snappy. So it's really snappy, and it's got a short throw. And it comes with the a cover here. the aesthetic is nice. It gives me like a an old school feel, like a retro feel. But yeah, this is a bit of a big, it's got a big body, but it's very, very reminiscent of a Japanese leather. Now I used this for Tekken because this was just out of pure curiosity, because I've never tried something like this before. It feels nice. It's very, very light, and I'm still able to hit, like, I've been able to hit perfect electrics with this in the past, so I can do like just frames like that. But I don't know if you'd want to use it for if you're a Tekken player, if you solely play Tekken. I don't know if it's one that you'd probably want to stick with. I think it's geared more towards like Street Fighter or 2D fighters, which might be more appealing for people that prefer those games over a more 3D game. But it's very light, very easy to use. It feels close to a Sanwa, and there's a point where I was exploring Sanwa levers, because I jumped straight into Korean levers, like from pad to Korean levers, and I didn't really explore Sanwas, and I wanted to try something that was still Korean but had the aspect of a Japanese lever, and this comes close to it. Unfortunately, you only get this ball top. I have been able to use this one. I think this one is from Comba. I am able to fit this on in, but it's quite tight, so you really have to force it in. So, but yeah, it feels like you're kind of just stuck with what you've got here, but it's got a really cool aesthetic towards it. And again, you could, because it's a Korean leather, you need a harness conversion for it, but otherwise, ultimately, it's a very nice, lightweight, snappy leather. You can change your grommet. I actually, because I was so curious with this and I wanted to try it out, because I really wanted to try ball tops as well, I put in a heavier grommet in here, and it's super nice. I might even put this in my obsidian, because sometimes I kind of want to switch around between different levers. I actually really, really like this, but I don't think it's S tier. I think as a Tekken player, I wouldn't, it's not the lever I would gravitate towards. So I think it's hard to say. It's between an A and a B, but I might put it in the B tier, just because I solely play Tekken now. If I was maybe playing Street Fighter or 2D fighter, I might put it higher. But overall, it's a really well-rounded leather, and if you're someone that's intrigued by Japanese style levers that's not Japanese leather, then maybe check this one out. It's the Shin Sun leather. Now, the next one is the Ni Neo. Now, this was my introduction to crown levers. This is the one that a lot of people tend to go towards when they're looking at Korean levers. It's really popular. Everyone knows the Ni Neo. Everyone knows who Ni is as well. And this is great. It's quite a hefty leather. It's got really big body. So one thing to bear in mind is that this doesn't fit in a lot of cases. It's quite big and it will stick out quite a bit. This has no issues fitting in the Victrix, so if you own a Victrix, I had no problems getting this in. It sticks out quite a bit, but I'm able to close my case with no issues at all. This has quite a wobble in the neutral, so something to think about if that's going to be an issue. It has spin as well, so this does spin. I don't like spin too much. It is something that really annoys me when I'm playing. But I know a lot of people like spin, so if you like spin, this probably won't be an issue for you at all. This comes with a cover as well for the shaft. This is I quite like this because I feel like I don't know if it's done for hygienic purposes, but at least it stops the sweat from getting on the metal when you're playing, because we all know how sweaty these games get when we're playing, especially if you're playing at a tournament level. But yeah, by having this the cover on the shaft, it thickens it, so it's quite close to, let me grab the CrazyDong Pal Pro for reference. It's quite similar to the CrazyDong Pal Pro in that sense. I'd say almost the same with the shaft cover. But yeah, that's something to think about there. And yeah, the body's really cool. It's red. I guess that's Ni's signature color. Comes with the red capsule top as well. You can get a purple one. This comes with a squircle gate. So this is why I think it's quite nice for beginners that are looking at more higher end levers, because then it's easier to find your corners, especially if you're new to Korean levers, or if you're coming from like a Sanwa and you're going to a Korean lever, that's quite nice. The grommet is its own, so it's an orange grommet that comes with, I want to say it says around 32A. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments on that one, but yeah, it's a little bit higher than the purple, like the default purple that you get in quite a lot of Korean levers, but you can change the grommet as well, so you're not stuck with it, which is nice. It's not entirely modular like the golden levers, but it's for a first lever that you're going into for learning or wanting to get introduced into K levers. I think the Neo is really, really good. I just don't like spin, so that's why I never really stuck with this. But I found that movement and wave dashing felt really nice. Like, I didn't struggle in that sense, so finding corners was a lot more easy than doing so on the CrazyDong Pal Pro. This is one I had a lot of issues with in terms of trying to get corners down, but otherwise it's good in a sense where you're looking to just find an introduction to K levers. The wobble and the neutral is not too terrible, but it is something that does happen, so like it will do that, whereas this doesn't do that. Great lever. I would put this A tier. It's a great, it was my first introduction to crown levers, especially K levers as a whole, and I used this for a while as well, but then I ended up moving over to the CrazyDong Pal Pro, and then shortly afterwards I have stuck with the ASI levers. So yeah, this A tier. Alright, the next one I have is a Sanjuks lever. This is the Sanjuks V5A. I managed to get my hands on this from Istmall a while back, because they've actually released these. I know these are really hard to get. They're not the easiest to find, but this is a very premium lever, really heavy as well. But it's beautifully crafted. It's actually a metal aluminium alloy body paired with polycarbonate or Delverin. It's got this really nice frosted sort of look to it. Now I'm actually using, for the capsule top, this is actually from one of the CrazyDong Pal Pros. This is one of their capsule tops. I thought it's a very aesthetically pleasing looking capsule top, but this was just to go with the style of my obsidian. Tension on this feels really nice. It's quite heavy. I feel like it compresses the tension, so I went for the lowest tension possible in terms of grommet, because at first I was like, oh my god, like this feels really, like it feels heavy compared to what I was used to. So I just whatever the lowest grommet I could find, I threw it in there, and it works really nice, and it's really it feels a lot more lighter, but it's super snappy. Like, this thing is snappy as hell. There is no wobble in the neutral here, like hardly. It just snaps back to neutral super quickly. Really, really cool there. It has a 9mm shaft, so it is short to medium, I would say, in terms of throw. Great if you're a Mishima player, this is great. I highly recommend this. I know a lot of Kazuya mains that kind of opt for the Sanjuks. They seem to like this quite a lot more than say like the new Neo, for example. But this is the one that a lot of people tend to go for. It is, but the problem is that they're quite hard. This particular lever is quite hard to find. It's not easy. I just kind of lucked out, and I saw an Istmall, and I immediately snatched this up. I have been using this as my secondary in my obsidian, because I have another stick, and sometimes I like to reach out for this because I want to try something a little bit more different. It's quiet as well, so like when I'm playing, the noise doesn't affect me or annoy me the way potentially like the Neo or the CrazyDong Pal Pro do. Now, in terms of performance for this lever, this is really nice. It's super snappy, it's quick. I have no problems in terms of hitting my electrics with this. It's so crispy. I struggled a little bit with movement, but that was just because I found the tension quite heavy on it by like default, so I had to go down in tension size like I mentioned before. But after that, I had no problems with it. I like how like KBDs feel on this as well, like backdashing, like KBDs feel really, really nice. The just hitting like electrics feel it, you can really feel it. And I just like how the return to neutral is just so quick. It's super snappy in that regard. But overall, beautiful leather, very, very high premium leather, and it's just hard to get. So that's the downside, is that it's not an easy leather to find. And I don't know if these are going to come back into production. But I guess you can kind of keep your eye out on Buttercade, because you can get them from there as well, and see if they do re-release them. But it's hard to say. I know how sought out these ones are, and unfortunately I couldn't give you a time frame of when this would come out. But overall, I would put this at S tier. This is another leather that I really, really like reaching out for as like a secondary, so S tier for sure. And finally, I have another Sanjuks leather. Now this is the V7. This is another premium leather, very heavy, very hefty, very nicely constructed as well. You know, it's super nice. You can change the colors on this, which is great. I think I have a squircle on this one. Yes, I do. So yeah, I have a squircle. We can get circle as well, so it's nice and customizable in that sense, that you don't have to stick with one thing. It feels heavy. I feel like it compresses the tension quite heavily. This is probably more on the heavier side in terms of what I generally use. I don't really go for heavy tension grommets unless I feel like I can handle that. This one was a little bit more easier to find. I was able to get this, I think they sell this on Istmall, but I was able to get it from a European website that sells arcade stick parts. You can get a mid and full collar. This is the mid one, because that's just what my Victrix takes. And I feel like the machine quality of this, it feels really fluid. So it's quite smooth, quite fluid, and I feel like I don't have any problems hitting, again, corners like my down backs and my down forwards. Electrics feel really nice on this, super crispy. I don't have any problems in that sense. I found moving a bit difficult, but that's just because it's just a higher tension. It felt higher tension for me, but I mean, you can always change the grommet on this if you wanted to. You're not stuck to what you've got. It feels great straight out the box, so it's one of those things where you don't really have to change much. Even at just stock level, it feels nice. I would say I put it on A. It is a very solid leather, and it's just the build quality is so premium that it just doesn't feel like it's gonna break, if that makes sense. It feels good. Like I know that I've paid quite a bit of money on this. I know I'm getting what I'm paying for is what I'm getting. So I have full confidence in that regard. This does come with a Fanta style grommet, and it feels like it's on steroids, to be honest with you. But yeah, it is a solid leather. I haven't really used the V6. I've tried it, but I don't have too much of an opinion on the V6 to compare to the V7. But the V7 is a very nice leather, and something to consider if you're looking at Fanta style leathers. Another thing that this has is that it has no spin. No spin at all. I mean, you can take off the caps top, but it has no spin. Same as the V5, there is no spin on that. Again, something I've always preferred and I look for when it comes to Korean style leathers. I don't like spin, so I'm really glad that this doesn't have that. So yeah, if you don't like spin, fantastic. If you like spin, maybe consider just think about that, or consider that into your options when you're looking at the Sanjuks. So I'd say this concludes the tier list, or I'd say my reviews on the different leathers that I do have. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope to do more reviews in the future. I definitely plan to get more leathers. Right now, nothing's really caught my eye. I'm so content with what I've currently got right now that I don't have anything to review just yet, but I'm hoping to get more leathers, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. It's, you know, this is a fun little project that I like doing. I know I like to do more, I generally do more Tekken related stuff, but I feel like this relates to what I do anyway, because I love playing Tekken, and leathers are a big part of that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little review. If you have any questions or anything, just throw them down in the comments below. I'll try to answer them the best I can. But apart from that, happy gaming and have a good day.